I did it again. I shot my second feature film, micro budget, a crew of 4, 2 brilliant talents, and epic locations that were free. 2 unforgettable weeks, and now a film that's already more than that. Stay tuned.
Your picture fucking hurts! Fucking hurts!
Unfortunately, I have been away from YouTube for a while now, ever since my community really started to grow after my first feature film, which I shot entirely on my own, with just my wife, over the course of 3 months in southern Portugal, where we now live. The film competed at 4 international film festivals and won all 4 in the main category. It's available on Prime Video and many other platforms and is now listed on Mubi. After that, it became clear to me that if I wanted to make the next step with the next movie, I had to start where it's the hardest for me. Finally sharing my vision with others, inviting people in and creating together. That's what I did. I pushed past my own limits, met new friends, built a team and found great actors I could convince to join me.
Nice.
Just a few weeks before filming began, a whole new world of professional opportunities opened up. And suddenly I was the producer and director of a Davidoff commercial with a 25-person crew. I loved it.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The reflections, we should move here like up here.
Back to my feature film. It was still self-financed, but on a tiny micro-budget level, only realizable with people who loved the vision. Just like in my first film, I'm exploring a theme that's very close to my heart and needs to be told: duality. In my first film, I approached it this way. A man is trapped in a black and white computer game where there are only 2 kinds of avatars, the victim and the offenders, who attract each other. A mysterious beauty tries to free him, but he has to play the other avatar first to crack the game's code. And in the new film, like this. After a mysterious shipwreck, a woman gets lost on a lonely island, but her husband, whom she believed to be dead, reappears, and they celebrate until a strange woman washes ashore and their illusion of love begins to crack. Drawn in isolation, she discovers a hidden gospel and awakens to the most radical truth of all: herself. My motto for a good screenplay: one scene leads to the next through action, not through dialogue, not through atmosphere, only through simple action. That is pure plot-driven cinema. It's not a character's threats that make the film, as in the case of character-driven cinema, but rather their actions alone that shape the story and consequently the character as well. My biggest lesson regarding storytelling after my first film was this: it's not the mind construct, the brilliant idea, that comes first, but the emotions. You have to connect with people emotionally first, to draw them in. Only then does the brilliance of the mind construct come into play. And I think I succeeded very well in doing that with the film. And of course, a very important point is why the film was so inexpensive. The script was written in such a way that it only needed 2 main roles, few extras, and many freely accessible locations. Thanks to my previous work as a film producer for commercials, I was able to save up a little money, which I invested in the film. For me, this isn't just an expense. It's a valuable long-term investment that I believe will one day pay off handsomely. So I spent like 7,000 euros on the film. I paid everyone involved a small wage, plus food and drinks. Of course, I had to find people who believed in the project, enjoyed being part of it, wanted to gain experience. Otherwise, no one would take on projects like this for such a small wage.
Can you promise that we change the way we lived and I know we do other stuff. Can you promise? Please?
I was very proud to find two actors who perfectly matched my vision and, like me, are at the beginning of their careers with big dreams. The harmony between them was magical, and we were able to capture it from the very first second. To fit in with the actors' schedules, we had to squeeze everything into a single week. Unfortunately, we couldn't shoot the film chronologically, but had to shoot scenes out of order. This was only possible because I had a clear plan and knew exactly which shots I wanted in the film, so 2 angles of a scene were usually enough. We had to move on to the next one.
Maybe he can just give it to me.
Yeah, but to be honest, after checking everything, we can make it to be sure. But I don't think I have the near shot from you and Sophia in. Okay, camera is running. And action.
But even though there was so much to do, we had a great atmosphere and incredible energy on set. We shot on an almost wild beach in Portugal during peak season. The beach was accessible only via a rope and a rocky slope, so we were able to present it in the film as a deserted island. It all started with this beach. We filmed in August 25, but it began in May, just a few months earlier, our wedding anniversary. My wife Tanya, whom you might recognize from my first film, invited me for a coffee after we dropped our kids out of school, and then showed me this beach I hadn't seen before. When I got there, I was blown away. There wasn't a soul inside, and it was just epic. Actually, I had planned to shoot a different, much more complex film this summer, but I was very stressed about landing the client's projects I wanted and needed, so the preparation for the other film wasn't ideal. But as I lay there on the beach with her on May 13th, 25, it occurred to me that I could simply write a film that entirely here on the beach, like a deserted island, with few words, just the plot, much easier to realize than the other one I had planned. So back home I'm writing the screenplay for Greater Than the World, which comes very easily to me. Because my screenplays follow a pattern I devised myself, there's an extra video on that. So not even 10 months had passed from the initial idea through production to the finished film now and submitting it to the festivals. Once I had supposedly finished editing the film, it only ran 55 minutes, and it felt different from when I read the script. I thought long and hard about what I can do, and then I came up with the idea of writing a second chapter. So what did I do? I invited Jack back and had him fly in again in December. We shoot for another week, this time without Clara, but exactly to my taste, with a twist in the story that couldn't have been better. Then I edited it all together and finally knew, yes, this is it. Now it's done. How it goes on. I applied for festivals now and wait my premiere this summer. In the next weeks I will make more videos and give you more specific insights about how I shot the movie on a micro budget. By the way, if you like my color grading, check out dehancer, a powerful plugin for all editing softwares, especially great for film emulations, grain and plume. Here's a 10% discount code for it. I also invite you to check out my ebook, How I Shoot a Feature Film Without Budget and Crew. Find the link in the description. Looking forward to see you in the next video. See you soon and thanks for watching.